What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be getting our first look at the new One Punch Man World game today. One Punch Man World is a mobile game first and foremost, but I will actually be playing it on their official PC client, which you can just download from their website. This game was released just yesterday, the 31st of January, so if you're one of those like me that like to be one of the first to play a new game, you're definitely not too late for this one. But is this game going to be worth your time and effort? Let's find out. Now, one cool thing already that I love right off the bat is the built-in controller support. If you notice at the top of the screen there's a skip button that has a square next to it. Yeah, I'm using a PS4 controller and controller support is a big W for me. Starting off, movement feels really nice and responsive. Attacking feels weighty and the hits actually feel really impactful on the enemies. There is a dodge and even a counterattack mechanic like the one you see here. Dodge just before a hit lands, and you get a sweet, sweet counterattack. God, I love counters in games. One Punch Man being one of my favorite animes, this game does seem to follow the anime relatively loosely. You'll basically get a TLDW of what the anime is about, and it'll also give you some scenes from the anime itself. But if the game intrigues you, you can go ahead and give the anime a watch, and hopefully you find something you enjoy. This game is very cutscene heavy, and it even has everyone's favorite mechanic in games. QTE cutscenes, woo! Honestly though, I'm not a huge fan of QuickTime events and cutscenes. It really caught me off guard the first time seeing it. What's up with the little guy back there? Digging a little deeper into the combat, you have an unlimited dodge, 3 skills, and an ultimate that charges to unleash a devastating special attack. Alright, let's see what we got, Saitama. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. After the tutorial, we're given a different character to play, and this guy basically has a heat type of mechanic to his skills where if you charge up his gun leg before you do any skills, you get like an enhanced version of that skill. We also now get a friend to fight with us. 'Cause that's what friends do. That's what friends do. 'Cause that's what friends do. That's what friends do. Not only do your friends help you fight, it also introduces a new joint attack mechanic where you attack all together in tandem to break the enemy's guard, and it stuns them for a few seconds while you raise hell on them. God, that kendama weapon is so lame, I love it. After finishing our fight with Purple Cell, we get called back to Hero Headquarters and they inform us that, hey, you heroes kinda suck at working together, so we decided to create a VR program to help you learn teamwork. Excuse me? Did you not see our last fight? Our heroes decide to continue working together to build up their skills in working together, and also try to find a third member that would complement their fighting styles. Our heroes then eavesdrop on a conversation between one of the receptionists and another hero, discussing how she defeated a monster by herself and she barely broke a sweat during that fight. Well, I hope you'll learn from this. Your agile and nimble combat style is your strength. Who talks like that? Our two heroes decide she's the perfect candidate for their team because she's very fast. And they're not as fast? You wield the kendama with destructive power, and I deliver swift and powerful strikes with the gunpowder in my shoes. That hero would perfectly complement our team's shortcomings with her agile and nimble fighting style. Isn't your name Lightning Max? Disregarding the logic, we invite her to the team anyway and she accepts. We get a quick tutorial on how to add heroes to your squad, then we're thrusted into our first VR battle. Oh man, it feels so cool to run into battle with your AI bros. We show everyone watching how cool our teamwork attack is. Oh my god, your guys' team attack was so delayed his stun meter is already halfway recovered. Then we use our special attack to finish him off and show everyone that even though we're a team, I'm the best one in it. We're then thrusted into yet another battle, but this time we're using Lily instead of Lightning Max. Using accurate dodge/defense grants significant benefits. Triple Staff Lily can launch a counterattack and accumulate substantial amounts of Blossom. Oh man, a counterattack. I might like this character a lot. Come on, hit me, big boy. Just kidding. Oh, slam. And welcome to the jam. After shoving our staff down his, we use our super secret special spicy attack and finish off the monster for good. The cool thing is everyone has a pretty unique playing style. Like the Lightning Max guy has the heat gauge thing and Lily has the counters with the stance changing. I'm just glad they're not just reskins of each other with copy-pasted skill sets. We finally get to our first draw, and this is where I'm going to start cutting out the bull, and we're going to get right into the nitty-gritty here. When you do pulls, you will either get a character or a arms, which is basically like a card that you link onto the character, and they'll gain a special ability based on what the card says. The cards you draw also will be character specific, so this card I got, for example, is only used with Lily, and it'll make her more on the tanky side because it applies healing instead of the other one we had, which applies a buff to your team members. Before I go into more details on the characters, I'd like to talk a little bit about the open world in this game. Along with the main story missions, you will also get a bunch of side quests in the open world, which will introduce you to all kinds of minigames. Not all of them are good. You have activities like going to the cinema and watching a movie, which is basically a whack-a-mole game where you want to hit the buttons of the pig demons popping up and avoid the buttons of the frogs. You also have an arcade, but the only game I found playable was one called Panzer Cyborg, which I was so excited was gonna be a Panzer Dragoon knockoff, but unfortunately it was just a Subway Surfer clone. I was so disappointed. You have an investigation-like minigame where you just kinda choose the obvious choices that make you sound like a hero, and the NPC will give you the information you want. I mean, I'm obviously gonna go we'll rebuild it for you, right? There's also this quick little lockpicking minigame, and these really out-of-place stealth sections. Now, for me, I love stealth games, but when it's in these kind of games and they're just tacked in and don't need to be there, I'd rather them not even be there. Actually, exploring the open world can be pretty cool at times, though. It does have a Yakuza feel if you've ever played those games before. You can go into a bunch of places like a coffee shop, a convenience store, and buy a bunch of different types of foods and drinks, which will give you various buffs for when you have a hard battle and you need just that little extra push in stats. This one may be a little nitpicky, but you do have a run button in the open world as well. But there's no stamina for the sprint button, so why would you use the regular speed instead of the sprinting speed? Just have the regular sprinting speed by default. Now here's where things get really disgusting. This game is published by Crunchyroll, and if you don't know what that means, let me show you. You have your serious training, which is every day you have certain quests to complete, and if you do it, you get all these big bonuses. You have your first top-up bonus, where you spend any much and you'll get these rewards. You have a growth fund for $15, which growth funds will just give you more compounding items until the end of the growth fund. And last but not least, you have your 7-day sign-in bonuses. I know you're probably saying, that doesn't sound that bad. What makes it so disgusting? Well, here's where we get to that part. Now check out this draw pack page and tell me if you notice anything pretty strange. Go ahead, keep looking. I'll give you time. Bingo, you found it. In what world is selling a single character with some premium currency sprinkled in worth $99? But Rob, it's actually a 90% discount because the usual price is $999. And if we look at this page, $1 basically gets you 6 currency. And one singular draw costs 40 of this currency. So just buying one roll of the gacha is gonna cost you at least $7. And if you think that's bad, check this out. They give you a starter selection which lets you re-roll as many times as you want till you get the character you want. Sounds good, right? But look, you can spend silver to refresh again. Okay, so they charge you the in-game currency that you can make. That doesn't sound so bad. Oh, it gets so much worse. Now, if we go from the regular draw to the selective draw, you notice anything? That's right, it costs 260 of the premium currency to even roll for your chances on the selective banner. And if we take into account that $1 basically gets you 6 currency, the cost for rolling on this respective banner is going to be $43. I do have 10 of the free rolls though, so let's give it a spin and see if we get lucky. Purple, not bad. Not great, but not bad. With the 10 rolls I did, 8 of them were arms cards, and for characters I don't even have, so they're basically useless to me. And I got one SR character, but you are guaranteed an SR in every 10 pull. I guess you could say I'm a little lucky at least, because it was a character and not a card. Now we're gonna circle back and find out how we can make our character stronger. Gameplay is your standard character tutorial. You get their combos, what they're good at, what they're weak against, and if you do all the trainings, you get some rewards. Next up, we have merit, which is basically you fight certain monsters, they will drop these certain items, and you use those certain items to basically promote your character and make them stronger. Next up, we have potential. And if you've played any games like Genshin Impact, where you need to get duplicates of characters from the gacha in order to make them stronger, this is that system. Next, we have your standard character leveling. So you give them these XP cards, and they have a max level. Once you hit that max level, you go to this limit break here. You give them some resources, and they will set your character back down to level 1, but it will raise your max level up by 10. Next up, we have the arms, which, as you can see here, all of the arms for my golden ball guy I just unlocked is locked because I wasn't fortunate enough to roll it in the gacha. But we do have 2 of them for our character Lily here. So the first one is the healing one, and the second one is the applies encouragement to one ally, giving them an attack bonus. Lastly, we have memory and will, which is, if you played games like Summoner's War or Raid Shadow Legends, you basically have equipment or these memories, for example, and you get certain ones which will give you set bonuses, and you just kind of work those into a build for your character. The final thing I want to talk about is the auto mode, which I think is really cool. The auto lets you choose up to 5 different stages, and the game will basically play those stages for you and accumulate your rewards while you're off eating lunch or doing something and not playing the game. And yes, this game does have an energy system, so you'll be doing this auto for maybe a few minutes, and your energy will be spent and your dailies will be done. Now we come to the big question. Is this game worth playing? That's entirely up to you. If you're totally fine being a free-to-play player using the characters you have and not worrying about getting other ones, combat is fun, smooth, open road, fantastic, quests, everything, all different because there's all types of mini-games for them. Some are but a lot of them are fun. Then this game is fantastic to play. But if you are one of those that like to try to get the best characters and all these gacha mechanics where you have to pay for rolls just doesn't sit well with you, then I would say it's stray really far away from this one. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video or found it informative, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. That way you can be one of the first to know when I release more content like this. And if you're curious to whether I'll still be playing this game, Golden Ball, the guy that I did roll, is one of my favorite characters from the anime, so I will be playing it at least for a little while. So if you guys are curious, I will do an account update maybe a week or 2 from now. And one last thing, guys, don't forget, games should be fun. I'll see you guys in the next one.